Do you also feel that you are stuck in a circle and doing the same thing over and over again? Nowadays, coding has been put into the brains of people. Just like coding is put into the mechanism of a robot, similarly, man has also become a robot. He does the same thing again and again. Neither does he feel like doing any other work, nor does he think about doing something different. Today, in this audiobook summary, we will know how you can make yourself more productive. How can you reach the capabilities of your mind? We will learn how we unknowingly do things that we should not do. Along with this book also tells us how to deal with such problems. With the help of this book, you can leave the life of a robot and learn to think like a human being. The Elements of Critical Thinking book tells us how we can learn to make better decisions in our everyday lives and how we can get out of our mental state. Friends, if you have not subscribed to our channel, then subscribe. So let's start the book summary. You must have heard many times that we feel safe by staying in a crowd, but have you ever wondered why we feel unsafe when we are alone? The reason for this is that our ancestors used to learn many things by imitating their herd or keeping themselves safe by staying in a herd. For example, if you encounter an animal and you do not know that it is dangerous, but if you see that it is running along with you, then you also start running with it. And in this way, you remain alive. When there is an accident somewhere on the road, many people stand around it. Gradually, that crowd increases. And when you pass by there, you also feel like stopping and seeing what happened. It may not be of interest, or it may not be something you enjoy seeing, but you notice that everyone is going there, and unknowingly, you also go there. Similarly, we believe that if many people are doing some work, or a lot of people believe in an idea, then we feel that they are right. If all our friends start liking a particular type of fashion or a particular website, then we also gradually start liking it. Marketing people use this to attract you. Apart from this, we also like to think the same way as everyone else thinks. When a child does mischief in the class and the teacher comes and asks who did it, no one speaks. Those who want to speak remain silent after seeing others. When your internet is running slow, do you also start clicking on that link again and again like others? Have you ever wondered why you scream while lifting heavy objects? Do you think that clicking the same link repeatedly will make it open faster, or that screaming will increase your strength? We wish we could control everything. We even think that we can, but in reality, we can control very few things in our lives. For example, when we get stuck in traffic, we start blowing the horn loudly, but will blowing the horn clear the traffic? If this were true, there would be horns or speakers instead of traffic lights on the roads. Many people call themselves experts and claim to predict the future based on their experience. But when the predictions made by 200 experts were tested over 10 years, it was found that they were only slightly better than the predictions made by a machine. This is how you should understand that you cannot control everything. Stop paying attention to them and think about the things that are really in your hands. You can answer these two questions in any way, but when successful, most people feel that they have succeeded due to their hard work and ability, and if they fail, they put all the blame on others. They feel that if the circumstances were good, they would have succeeded. This is not their fault, but the fault of the circumstances. If we look at the statistics pages, people feel that they are better drivers than average. 33% of the people at the University of Nebraska feel that their teaching ability is better than average. One thing to note in all these claims is that if we talk about averages, then 50% of people should be above average and 50% should be below average. If 93% of people were better drivers than average, then the average itself would have been above average. In research, when a personality test was conducted and participants' different traits were scored, people who received good marks in certain areas said they were genuinely good at those tasks. However, for the areas where they scored poorly, they claimed the test was flawed. One thing that comes out of all this is that we all consider ourselves more capable than we actually are. If you really want to know your capability, then take an opinion about yourself from a good friend. Only then will you realize how weak you are. This tendency is seen in all of us. We like things that align with our existing beliefs. We become good friends with people whose thinking matches our own. If you and your friend are both supporters of a political party, then your friendship can be very strong. If not, then your friendship might not last long. We often watch channels or prefer news that aligns with our beliefs. If you think that being healthy is in our genes and not everyone can be healthy, then you will keep searching for this idea on the internet until you find a website that confirms it. You see only what you want to see. We take in a lot of information and then unknowingly discard the information that we do not consider correct. People also tend to believe in horoscopes and constellations. Often, those things are written in it which are common, and there is a possibility of that incident happening at least once in our life. People believe in it, and whenever they see that what is written in their horoscope is happening to them, their belief increases further. To avoid such problems, start watching or listening to things that do not match your thoughts and try to understand to what extent they are true. Who does not like movies? Many people watch a movie every day that is of no use to them and never recover from it. But if we tell them to read books for just 30 minutes every day, most people will not do it. They know that by reading books they can make themselves much better, but still, they will not do it. The reason for this is that we like to watch or listen to exciting and interesting things. If someone is murdered somewhere, we will not see in the newspapers what the police were doing at that time or why people are doing such wrong things without fear despite the law. We will rarely hear about how we can improve these conditions. Newspaper publishers know this, and they tell such news as stories. This way, their readers buy their newspapers to read sensational stories every day. Apart from this, we believe in things that have less chance of happening. For example, if you're going to take an exam and someone tells you that the paper may get leaked, you will never think that it might not have been leaked. You will believe this because the chances of the paper getting leaked are less, and the chances of it not getting leaked are more. Thinking like this can be dangerous for doctors. The symptoms of some dangerous diseases resemble the symptoms of a common fever. In such a situation, when the doctor sees those symptoms, those diseases come to his mind, even though they are less likely to occur. Therefore, doctors are taught that whatever the symptoms are, common diseases should be tested for first. We like things that are rare or available for a short time. Do you know why gold or diamond is so expensive? Because it is very rare. When things become rare, only a few people can use them. In such situations, some people start looking different from the rest. We consider such people special, and wherever they go, everyone starts looking at them because they have what everyone else does not have. People use this idea to market their products. You must have noticed phrases like offer available for a limited time, so hurry up. In such situations, we feel that we may lose it, and we rush to get it. Apart from this, we compare things to decide whether they are good or bad. This was demonstrated in an experiment. One bucket was filled with lukewarm water and the other with very cold water. Then people were asked to put one hand in the cold water and then both hands in the lukewarm water. When people did this, they said that the hand they had first put in the cold water felt hotter when put in the lukewarm water. This is used in our daily life. When we see the same product at two different prices in a shop, we assume that the more expensive one will be better. But in reality, its price should have no relation to its quality. Do you think you can do many things at once? If yes, then you are wrong. We can only give our full attention to one thing at a time. You cannot listen to two people at the same time, nor can you pay attention to two things at the same time. This has been proven in a Harvard study. Some students were shown a video in which people were throwing a basketball toward each other to hit a marble. They were asked to count how many times the people in white t-shirts threw the basketball. They got busy with this task, and in the meantime, a white figure-like thing came in front of them, beat its chest, and left the room. The students did not notice this. In addition, our attention depends on many things. After listening to a long speech or reading a book, we remember the things at the beginning and the end more than the things in the middle. You can try this on yourself right now. After reading this summary, try to remember what you read and see which part you remember more. But this is not true everywhere. If it has been a long time since you read, heard, or saw something, you will remember its end better. We are able to remember things that we hear in a hurry. So after some time, you will remember the last part of this book better. Many people live under the misconception that humans are the only creatures that have the ability to think and understand. Although humans have this ability, they rarely use it to think deeply about what is good or bad. While speaking, we only reflect on what our experience was with that thing. If our experience is bad, we speak ill about it without thinking much. Before taking any decision, we should make a list of the advantages and disadvantages of that thing and assess whether it is good or bad for us or our society. However, if we are asked whether we should eat packaged food or not, many of us will make a decision without thinking. As soon as we hear about packaged food, good or bad thoughts start coming to our mind. Perhaps you have thought that packaged food is made from chemicals in factories, and that many other chemicals are added to it to prevent it from expiring quickly. Perhaps you have also thought that eating it causes only harm. But you might not have thought that today many companies test packaged food and bring it to the market. They have quality certificates, and we benefit from using their products. The first thought that comes to our mind while thinking about something becomes our decision. Thinking like this can be a difficult task for a court judge. Therefore, first of all, both types of people present their views through their lawyers. The judge decides after listening to them. We like people who look good or praise us. Do you know why the hero of films always looks smart or why the villain always looks ugly? This happens because the filmmakers know that we like people who look good. We decide how others will actually be by looking at their faces. We unconsciously start liking people who look beautiful, or we start seeing something special in a person, whether it is their intelligence, age, or good personality. Often, those people who look good get hired in interviews. In school, children who look good often score more marks. In the olden days, people practiced casteism on the basis of color and appearance. White people considered themselves superior and black people inferior. This mentality has been ingrained in us for a long time. Apart from this, we start liking those people who praise us or behave like us. Salesmen use this. They tell you, "Wow, sir, how good you look in this dress. You should buy this." Salesmen often imitate us. They try to speak like us or mimic our gestures. This makes us feel that the person is exactly like us, and thus, we trust them. Because of so many options, we are unable to decide what we should choose. This feeling arises because we do not want to see ourselves proven wrong. We are afraid of what will happen if our friends buy something better than us. So we keep searching for hours among all those options to find out which is the best, and we do not like any of them. In an experiment, nail polishes of different colors were displayed in a shop. It was observed that when the options were fewer, many people purchased the nail polish. When the shades of nail polish were increased, giving customers many options, it was observed that many of them left the shop without buying anything. Our mind is always looking for the best. In such a situation, when it is presented with many options, it sees different types of features in all of them and cannot decide which one to choose. Decision-making also creates stress. In an experiment, two groups were formed. One group was shown some products and asked to choose one of them, and the other was asked to write their opinion about those products. After this, both groups were asked to put their hands in cold water. It was observed that the people who had to make a choice could keep their hands in the water for a very short time because their willpower was spent on making the decision. To avoid this, remove the idea from your mind that there is something called the best in this world. Look at your needs and make decisions accordingly. Take advice from your friends. If you consider yourself more capable and you really want to know your capabilities, then invite a good friend of yours for dinner and take their opinion about you. In this way, you can learn about your strengths and weaknesses. Seeing boards with phrases like, "The offer is available for a limited time, hurry up," makes us feel that if we do not buy quickly, the offer will go out of our hands. But in today's time, you can find almost anything on the internet. Nothing truly disappears forever. So do not pay attention to these boards. We consider ourselves more capable. We work according to our feelings and not according to our thoughts. We can focus on only one thing at a time. We love being in a crowd, imitating people, hearing our praises, and that is what we like the most. If you liked our book summary that matched your thoughts, then give us your suggestions and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.